The room went quiet in the way a glass does just before it shatters. Laughter froze midair. Someone's fork clinked against a plate, and there she was, my wife, perched sideways on her boss's lap, one arm looped around his neck like it belonged there. When someone joked about how close they looked, she laughed too loudly and said, clear as a bell. What can I say? I need more than what I get at home. The words punched through me before I could breathe. I remember the smell first, burnt garlic and expensive cologne, then the sound of my own heartbeat roaring in my ears. I stood by the drinks table, holding a plastic cup that had begun to crumple in my grip. No one looked at me, or maybe everyone did, and I just couldn't see it. That moment didn't come out of nowhere. It only felt that way because I'd spent months sanding down the splinters of doubt, telling myself love required patience, not paranoia. Her name is Mira. We'd been married 7 years. Not perfect years. Real ones. Mortgage stress. Miscarriage. Quiet dinners eaten scrolling through phones. But also inside jokes, road trips, her feet tucked under my thigh on the couch like muscle memory. I thought we were solid in the way old houses are, creaky but standing. The first crack came 6 months earlier, small enough to ignore. She started guarding her phone like it carried state secrets. Screen always face down. Password changed for work security. Late meetings appeared out of nowhere, clustered around one name, Evan, her department head. She talked about him just enough to make him sound important, not enough to sound personal. I told myself ambition looks like distance sometimes. One night I asked lightly, "You okay lately?" She didn't look up from her laptop. Just tired. You wouldn't understand. That sentence lodged somewhere deep. Not sharp enough to hurt. Just heavy. I tried harder. Cooked dinners. Asked questions. Suggested a weekend away. She smiled politely. The way you smile at a stranger holding a door too long. When I reached for her in bed, she stiffened, then rolled away, mumbling about an early morning. Still I stayed. Love has a way of making you complicit in your own erasure. The company dinner was supposed to be a reset. Her idea. It'll be good for you to meet everyone, she said. Stop imagining things. The restaurant was all exposed brick and low lighting, designed to make people feel important. Evan was charismatic in a practice way. Expensive watch, easy grin, the confidence of someone used to being wanted. He shook my hand and said, "Mira talks about you all the time," which felt like both a compliment and a threat. As the night went on, I noticed the way she leaned toward him when she laughed, how his hand lingered at the small of her back. Every time I caught her eye, she looked away. Then came the joke, the lap, the sentence. "I'm not enough." It echoed like a verdict. I don't remember leaving the restaurant. Just the cold air outside burning my lungs, my phone vibrating in my pocket. A text from Mira, "You left early. We'll talk later. Don't make a scene." I didn't reply. When she came home, it was past midnight. She smelled like wine and something sweeter. She didn't apologize. She sighed like I'd inconvenienced her. "You embarrass me," she said. That's when something in me snapped, not loudly, but cleanly. "I watched you humiliate me," I said. My voice sounded unfamiliar. "In front of everyone." She rubbed her temples. "You're being dramatic. It was a joke. A joke about me not being enough." Silence stretched. Then she said it. Softly. Honestly. "I didn't mean for you to hear it like that." Like that. The truth spilled out in fragments. Emotional first, then physical. Lines blurred. Late nights. Feeling seen. Feeling alive. Evan listened. Evan understood. Evan didn't come home exhausted and quiet. "I still love you," she said, eyes wet now. "But I don't know if love is enough anymore." I slept on the couch. Or didn't sleep. Morning light felt cruel. Over the next week, I replayed our life like evidence. Moments I'd missed. Words I'd excused. I hated her. I missed her. I blamed myself. I blamed Evan. I imagined begging. I imagined leaving. None of it stuck. Then the twist came quietly. I received an email from HR, generic subject line, mandatory review meeting. When I arrived, Evan was already there, pale, sweating. The HR manager looked at me with something like sympathy. Turns out Evan hadn't just crossed lines with my wife. There were others. Complaints. Investigations. Mira had been interviewed weeks earlier. She hadn't told me because she was afraid of losing her job, of what I'd think, of everything collapsing at once. She didn't defend him. The HR manager said gently. She corroborated. Evan was terminated that afternoon. When I got home, Mira was sitting at the table, hands wrapped around a cold mug. She looked smaller somehow. I was going to tell you, she said, after it was over. I believed her. That was the worst part. I said you weren't enough, she whispered. But the truth is, I wasn't brave enough to ask for more. From you. From myself. We sat there, surrounded by the wreckage of words and choices. I don't know what happens next. Some betrayals end relationships. Some transform them. Some just leave scars you learn to live with. What I know is this. The moment she sat on his lap didn't break us. It only revealed where we'd already been broken, and whether we were finally willing to look.